You see Speed and Goldbridge, like, I'm just like, is he wearing a cape? Like, oh, he is. Like, he's like, you Mr. Manager? He's like, I'm going to sit there, you're Mr. Manager. Like...
Pie, you just mentioned there the Sidemen charity match. One of the biggest events of the year, probably one of the biggest events ever to see on YouTube. And you was a big part of that. I loved it. I sent you a message the night before wishing you the best of luck.
Which I greatly appreciate it.
You smashed it as well in terms of like, you were just...
Yeah, I did. That was awful. This is the thing. And this is what, see, like, people will say, oh, you were great. And I was like, I was shambolic. And I was annoyed. I was so annoyed at how I played. It like really pissed me off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was really annoyed.
Well, how come? Like
I used to play in goal. Not that I was like any like good, but like I know I can play, and like it just annoyed me that, you know, there were a few like stinkers in there, but I don't know. I'm normally my biggest critic,
right?
So I was quite annoyed. Like the first one, I should save. Like people are like, oh, it's top bins. It's like no, it's like. It was my error. I hadn't had a shot at me yet, so I hadn't really had a chance to like. Because I was a bit nervy. Obviously, playing at the Valley. It's like the sickest thing I've ever done in content creation. Like, and it's weird because even in like the changing rooms when they're doing all like because obviously they're filming like constantly for all their channels and stuff like that, and like it's kind of weird. Like everyone's getting like super like pumped. I'm kind of just like sat there like taking it all in, almost like a fan, really, to me, because I'm just thinking. In my head, I'm kind of like. What the fuck am I doing here? Like, this is just nuts.
I love that, though. I love that.
That's honestly how, like, you might see, like, people have said a few things, like, you'll see it in, like, a lot of the stuff. I'm kind of just, like, in my own watching. I mean, I put a photo up as the best tweet I'd ever had. It was when Speaker is, like, barking at, like, JJ. I'm just like, this is crazy. But that first shot, I hadn't, oh, he's waffle. That first shot, I hadn't had a save. And I watched it, I saw it, I was ready for the shot. He shot, and I thought, right, that's wide. And I fucking realised it was going in. I was like, shit, I got a hand to it, I dived way too late.
Was that the Chunks one?
Yeah, I should have saved, honestly. It was a good shot, but I should have saved it.
I know it's probably hard to hear, but one man's loss was a million men's game, because I think watching it, because both goalies let in a lot of goals. It made for a very entertaining game.
At least the match, at least the match was good.
Yeah,
the game was good. I mean, I'm just trying to think. The second goal was a 1-on-1. I got a hand to, couldn't do much about it. Finney's goal was ridiculous.
Oh yeah, you're doing nothing.
Honestly, you should see it from one of the other angles. Like that shot is just ridiculous.
That was I think goal of the game. Surely.
I would say so. Even though the Toby crossed, that was ridiculous. I mean, it's a ridiculous hit. Like. Yeah. The fourth one was shocking for me. It went like right under me. It was terrible.
Talk us through the day. That's what I'm really interested in. I want to know from start to finish, how did that go? Because my emails must have been playing up or something, because I didn't quite get an invite for that. So
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry.
No, it turns out slagging Sidemen off for years does that to a man. Go on, talk me through the day.
Yeah, no. So and shout out to like Upload and like the Sidemen, because Upload, you know, Stuart was the guy. They all like organised it.
Yeah.
And
it's weird because you think he'd have your number as well. If he managed to. Surprising, if your email's not working, you think he would have still got it?
I mean, if you can get Mr. Beast and Speed, you're not coming for Jack, mate. Yeah, go on.
They organised it. Yeah, shout out to them. Like the whole like behind the scenes stuff and like everything they did. Like the hotel was bloody stupid as it was. Like they walk in, they open the door for you, so you know it's like quite a nice place. Quite a nice place. Yeah. You know, mate. He's like, oh, you know, do you want me to take? I knew it was a bloody nice place. When I went to the room, was paid for, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the room. He was like, yeah. He's like, you got to put like £300 deposit down. I said, I said, what? I was like, 300 quid? I thought, Jesus Christ. Well, lucky I wasn't there a few years ago. I said, I would have had it. I would have to borrow from someone. So back in the day, I would have had that. I would have to borrow it from someone. I questioned it though. I was like, are you sure for a deposit? They're like, yeah, you'll get it back. I was like, fucking better do if you charge me that.
Did you get it back?
Yeah, I did get it back. Yeah, but it was a very, very nice, very nice establishment, shall we say.
Yeah, nice.
Next day, I remember I had breakfast with Will and E. So Will and E came down for breakfast. He was bricking it. Like we were like yapping, just having a chat. I mean, consider literally, you know, it's posh because I just wanted to sit down. They wanted to put like a blooming, you know, tablecloth and everything down, like a napkin. They're like trying to hand serve. It's like, all right, I can grab a croissant. Like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, you know, it's like, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Hash browns abysmal, by the way. 5-star hotel. We sort your hash browns out. They were. I looked at them and I knew they bad, and I thought I had to try just in case. Like the worst part though was I was literally tucking into it, and then they were like, "Oh, just you know, you've got a meal in like an hour and a half." I thought, "Oh,
Oh, what they sorted you sort of like a pre-lunch, like a lunch.
Yeah. That was because that was when we got because another one other minor gripe, right, is when hotel and place like Harvester do it. Then toast machines are terrible.
Oh, they never work properly.
You can't do one because it's never enough, and two is always too much. Please abolish them. All right, if anything can ever be abolished, it's just like. Sorry, that's a bit of a.
That's not going in the Happy Hour Hall of Fame, is it? That.
But I felt bad because I was bricking it, and Will was bricking it. I thought, right, well, if you're like nervous, then...
and he's played in one before, hasn't he?
Yeah, Will had played him before, and he was bricking it. So I thought, right, that makes me, that makes me feel better, and it's nice because I live like in Plymouth. I don't really get to see people often. A lot of creators are hanging out like 8 times a week. So, and still for me, even though like I know Will, it still to me is like. Will and E, it's like it's still like nuts to me. Like, do you know what I mean? It's still crazy.
Yeah.
So we chatted like Will went had a yak with Danny Aaron's parents.
Oh yeah,
they were lovely. Such like salt of the earth, such salt of the earth people.
Yeah,
like,
love
his mother's like a legend on the internet anyway. Just
he's kind of like made her a bit of a character.
Yeah, she's brilliant. Like I love all the bits they do. He's obviously like magnificent as well. Like
smashing it.
Yeah, he loves it. Like Danny's like such like a chill. Like he kind of sometimes like. I think the thing with Danny is he's so like down to earth and like so like humbled with it. Like I don't think Danny knows how like massive like he is and like how good he is. And you have to like I have to sometimes like when we got invited to like a Sidemen party before, he was like, should I go sort of thing. I was like, mate, you're going. I was like, we're going. I was like, I'll go with you. I was like, so I it's like, if you feel like that, it's like, trust me, I feel the same too. Like, it's like, you shouldn't feel out of place. I was like, you know, so yeah, we had a chat with his parents. And then kind of like, there was like sort of, everyone was kind of like down in the lobby. And then once again, I'm like, there's like Mr. Beast and stuff. And I kind of just like, I don't know, I say out of place. That's just me being dead honest. I did almost feel a bit out of place in terms of like, I didn't want to be too, I wanted to kind of just let them do what they had to do. I don't really, I just feel like I just went and got on the bus first. The Greeters Guild guy.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, yeah, it was brilliant. I love the Greeters. I love the Greeters Guild.
Did you didn't know he was going to be there?
No, I only chatted to him really quick because I was literally the first one on the bus because they were like, well, you've got to go. Yeah. And I just went, oh, well, all right then. In my head, I was like, I want to get on the back. So I thought I'll just like get on.
Yeah. Who were you sat with on the bus?
So JME, like Harry were on the back row, like Cal Freezing, that was just for him. It was cool because JME was like playing his new tune, had like a crazy like music video, so we were having a good chat. And like watching a lot of like the Speed Goldbridge stuff. Chunk's just there on FaceTime to Alfonso Davis, like casually, like I'm not joking. Yeah, literally. Because I got on first, I'm seeing like, because some of these people I've not met before and some I have, and I'm just like, yeah, there's like, Speedo, there's Nico, like there's Chunks, there's Deji, like I'm just thinking, like, what the is this? Like, what is going on? Like, this is just, and you see Speed and Goldbridge, like I'm just like, is he wearing a cape? Like, oh, he is. Like, he's like, you Mr. Manager? He's like, I'm gonna sit there, you're Mr. Manager. Like, just
I was wondering why he sat next to Goldbridge.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Goldbridge was there and the seat was free. I know Goldbridge was loving it.
Yeah.
So
I will be completely honest, right? I'm not saying this to be edgy. Until the Sidemen charity game, I didn't know who this kid was. I'd never seen him on anything. We had TGF on the week before, and they said, "Oh, you've seen this Speed guy." I was like, "Don't know who that is." And then I see every YouTuber posting videos with Speed.
Oh, yeah, but he is just like the man of the moment. He is the man of the moment.
What's his shtick? What is he doing?
He's just mental, but like he's brilliant. He's just so crazy. Like he set up like a firework and that in his room. Like he just knows how to like look after the audience. He's so clever. He just knows how to do it. Even at the game, like every time someone got the ball on their team, it was Speed. Like the whole like they just wanted to give him the ball. Most of the time he's offside, so they couldn't pass it to him. But every time, like he was like, the man of the moment.
What was he like in person? Did you speak to him?
Yeah, he was a really nice guy. I guess I assume that like he kind of is playing like a character when it comes to like the way he is when he's like absolutely sort of like crazy. But no, he was a really, really nice guy. Like I asked him for a photo. He's like, like no problem at all. Like, yeah, even like after, like he was just sort of like sat there like with his mate, like just chilling, I guess, because you can't be like that 24/7.
That's what I thought. And when we spoke, like we said, didn't we, when we first met TGF, that they were like that.
Yeah.
Speed gives me vibes of TG, like
Old
TG,
school
like setting
TG,
off a firework in your house
Yeah.
or whatever. But Jay was a bit crazy 24/7, wasn't he? Now when you meet him, he's mellowed out and he's fucking lovely. But did you see that mellow side to Speed then?
Yeah, only really like after the game, like when literally he was just like with his mate, just sort of just chilling.
Right.
But like around people, even like when there was no cameras and stuff, he was still like super hyper energy, I guess, you know? Like
Right.
just seems like he just always wanted to entertain.
Did the nerves sort of subside as the game went on?
No, like the whole thing. I couldn't, like, because I was really annoyed because so like first half I thought, right, I've played badly. I didn't want to let the boys, that's the thing, you don't want to let the boys down. And also there's that back pressure that, like, you know, some Sidemen fans are pretty, like some of the messages I had after the game on Instagram, like, you know, some pretty like horrific things were said like in the messages. There were a lot, like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of nice like messages and comments from people, but naturally I think when you're a creator, if you had 99 nice messages and one negative, you kind of focus on the negative, and people will tell you not to do that, but it's just, I guess, the way I am.
What, slagging off how you played? Or?
Oh yeah, like never effing play again, you blah blah blah, like I'm gonna find you and things like that.
What?
Yeah, I'm yeah. People really, and then people also fuming because I saved the last one. They're like, "Oh, you didn't let it go to penalties." People were meant like, yeah, people were like, you know,
Couldn't win either way. You save a shot.
yeah. People were like, yeah, people were really, yeah. Some
Wow.
people were fuming about it, but the nerves never went because I was so annoyed with how I was playing. It was like, and then I couldn't shake that, and then I kind of wanted to like improve and play better, and that added more, you know.
You made a good save at the end though.
Yeah, it was a bit of a simple one. It was that was prime Theo Baker range.
Yeah.
I thought, this is nestling. So I was glad he didn't do a classic.
Were you aware during the game how many people were watching online as well?
No. They didn't tell us till after. Like,
That would have made you
yeah, I
probably,
kind of just like zoned out of that really, and kind of just tried to keep it to like just the stadium.
which was still packed as well.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Was there an after party?
Yeah, there was, yeah.
Was it good?
It was good, yeah. And I'll be honest, and people will say there was nothing crazy.
No.
It was quite adult, I guess is the way to put it. There was nothing really crazy. I mean, it was a free bar, which was not intending to be taken advantage of, but was taken advantage of. I don't know if you know Parky. He used to work for Twitch. Yeah. Like, I was on a no shots thing. We played rock paper scissors for a Jaeger bomb, and before I knew it, we were many Jaeger bombs, like Jaeger bombs in.
Did you stay in London that night as well?
I had like a train at like 7 a.m. I think it was. Yeah, me and my friends, we all like went back in the morning.
And you got on it?
Yeah, I made it. I always said it was like FIFA launch. Like that night, I was like, I've got to get that train.
Wow,
it was not fun,
mate. What a day! Do you reckon you'll be playing the next one?
Well, I mean, performance-wise, you know, obviously I'd love to be involved. You know, I'd love to be involved again. It's like, you know, thanks again to all them for having me in. I couldn't express enough. It's like the sickest thing like I've ever done. So I'd love to play again. I'd love to try and prove myself.
But you played well in Clash of Creators. Made some good saves in that.
Yeah, I feel like I done a few alright things in the game at least. Like, but Bez and Harry were so good. They were so good. Everyone on our team played really well. Like, but the defenders never normally get the credit for like what they do.
Yeah.
And Jamie was like class at left back because he knew every time like that Speed was offside. He just let him run.
Yeah.